This is our last speaker. He is a New York Times bestselling author. His name is Ian Spector. He is here to tell you why Chuck Norris can divide by zero. So please welcome Ian.
All right. Well, this is such a huge story. I have to condense 4 years into 5 minutes, and that's really hard to do. So I figured tonight I'd answer a bunch of the questions that I usually get asked, starting with how did everything get started? And it started in April 2005. The movie The Pacifier with Vin Diesel came out. If you were in Germany, it was called Der Babynator. And I was on a forum that was making fun of him for being in it, and it kind of devolved into these little one-line facts. And so I was running a web hosting company at the time and put all of the good ones into an open source script and posted a link on the thread and went to sleep. And the next day we had 20,000 hits. In 3 months and about 30 million hits later, we expanded to include Chuck. How do facts get picked? It's a really arduous process, but it's really simple. People go to the website, they send them in, and then somebody, usually myself, has to edit for spelling and grammar and content. And you only saw one fact at a time, so it was really important that we made sure the quality was all really good. And the recipe is pretty simple. You take something really ordinary and combine it with something pretty ridiculous, and you get things like we have an example coming up, but just waiting for it. Come on, let's go. Okay, so this is one of our top facts of all time. It's very so there's stuff like this. They get a little more complex, like Chuck Norris is suing NBC, claiming that Law & Order are the trademark names of his left and right legs. But most people aren't good at this. These are actual submissions from people. None of them would be accepted to the site. That being said, if you take it out of the context of just plain text and put them alongside an image like what you're about to see, this came from the second book that we had come out, Chuck Norris versus Mr. T, 400 Facts About the Baddest Dudes in the History of Ever. It really puts a really ridiculous spin on things in a really cool way, and there are a bunch more illustrations in the other books. You should definitely take them out. Have I met Chuck? Yeah, it was really weird. I was supposed to explain to him what all of this stuff was about on CNBC, and I got bumped off for timing, and then later on they invited me to meet with him as a sorry we bumped you off. Here's a very awkward photo proving that. I don't have time to tell you everything that happened, but I swear to God, at one point his wife said, I think we should study more about blood because everybody has blood, but everybody is different. The books came around in 2006. I got approached by publishers to see if I'd be interested. I turned to my all-star legal team of neurotic, conservative Jewish attorney parents, and they said not to do it because you're going to get sued. Chuck Norris doesn't believe in evolution, but this is how the book cover changed over time. The first one came out in November 2007, and a couple weeks later, we actually did get sued. And that's the second book over there that came out late last year. People are always surprised that we got sued. I can't really talk about it other than it wasn't fun. Everything has kind of worked out now, but I can't tell you what happened after the news of it broke. It looks a little bit like this. We ended up on a bunch of top lists. Those are the top number one best-selling books on Amazon for like world literature and humor and U.S. literature, love, sex, and marriage under humor. We also got on the New York Times bestseller list, and it was very crazy. I think this says more about Amazon's rankings than it does about the book. By now, we had gotten press from all over the world. SNL did a musical sketch. There was this weird Mountain Dew commercial. It worked its way into Family Guy at one point. And then something really weird happened. Chuck endorsed Mike Huckabee for president, and he was in this commercial, and Huckabee went on to win the Iowa caucus after it aired in Iowa, and then the late night talk show guys tried to get credit for making Mike Huckabee, and I think they're both wrong, but that's just between you and me. What do my friends think? I think they're more proud of knowing the guy who started the Chuck Norris Facts than I am of being the guy who started the Chuck Norris Facts. They're really good about finding the book or books in places, especially like Urban Outfitters. The operative word being finding and not buying, but that's okay. They send in pictures from, when they see things. That picture on the right came in from Barcelona, like last week. It's written in Catalan. Didn't expect that. That being said, I have nothing to do with any of the other merchandise. I'm not allowed to. I never expected any of this to grow to the size that it did. That being said, I don't know if I'd do it all again, but I'm glad that everything I've learned and all the people I've met have been really helpful in starting to launch a bunch of new projects. Please follow me on Twitter or Facebook and all that stuff. There's a lot of cool new things coming down the pipe really soon. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Ian. Sorry.